where they're going past the display. Well, for me at least, it depends on who you're talking to. But I think for a lot of folks, that actually is something where you don't realize it until you pick this thing up and you go, oh, okay, I guess I see now why that space is opened up. So, I mean, yeah, that's something where I've kind of taken a U-turn on that because you pick it up and you realize, oh, okay, well, maybe that's why that space is open on the PlayStation Portal there. Now, let's move on to the latency, right? Because this is something where your mileage is quite a bit. So, with that, Sony says you want at least 5 megabits per second, but 15 is ideal or recommended. So for me, comparing it to any other time I've ever done remote play, I really did not notice much of the difference, which means, it's kind of a good and bad thing. They kind of hope that the Portal, which is a purpose-built device, has some kind of onboard hardware that at least sort of tries to reduce that latency as much as possible. Or maybe that was still the case, but I'm finding that it seems a change, which is that for a lot of software, varied genres, it's totally serviceable, playable on a good, stable connection. I did try Returnal and go through a run there, and that's kind of my benchmark for okay, this is a very twitchy, fast-paced shooter with a lot of precision, right? And so, yeah, that's where the latency becomes a lot more noticeable. Same for something like Luminous, while it's really playing Luminous on remote play, that's still not really changing here. So, as long as you're playing something that has, I guess, more immediately, then you're going to be fine just as a sort of scientific way of didn't really have much time to really dive super deep into the latency aspect, but my initial thought is it feels very similar to most other times I've attempted remote play on my home network. Although I will say I did eventually run into some hiccups throughout the day, which, that's something where my download has always been good, but it's my upload which is a problem. On the PlayStation 5 itself, if the upload starts dipping below Sony's recommendation, then the image that it's sending to the portal, that's where it's not going to look very good. So I ran into a number of issues when my home network was facing congestion, which does tend to happen around certain times. That's just a consequence of the device like this. Now, I did also try using a Bluetooth adapter because the one thing Sony is not letting you do is use your own Bluetooth headphones for this device, which obviously is a huge pain, right? They've got their own new wireless protocol called PlayStation Link that they're going to use for the Pulse Explorer and Pulse Elite, and that's all well and good, and there might be a reason for that because when you're using the third-party Bluetooth adapter, I think this was kind of expected, but yeah, that was just not a very good experience. A lot of latency, really poor. I did connect my AirPods, which the ceiling for the volume was really low. You cannot get it to sound that loud at all. I tried to record it, but it was not getting picked up, and it does still play in something where it was just latency loud enough. Also, the wireless receiver has a separate 4-hour battery life. You're adding all these complications to an equation that just leads to a really bad experience. So, unsurprisingly, I think this might be something where, while it does suck that they're not supporting Bluetooth headphones standard, maybe given the scenario of this device being a remote play device where it's taking in this video signal and the sound source, right? It's trying to beam that out of this screen where everything is turned up evenly. So maybe there is a certain level of that's why they're doing a new wireless protocol that requires new headphones. It's obviously not great for the consumer, and I'd like to think that that's why they're doing it. It's not simply a matter of, hey, buy our new headphones, but if I had to guess, I'd say that is playing a bit of a role there. So it really is easy to support all these separate third-party wireless headphones where the mileage is going to vary widely on the latency given what this device is doing. But anyway, that's what happens if you do use a Bluetooth adapter. Now, in terms of the onboard speakers, those get really loud. But at full volume, it has a tinniness to it, right? So it doesn't sound, it's not bad, but it's just something where at full volume, and certainly if you do that into the occasional connection It's just, that's going to sound really cool. So I would recommend against blasting this thing, but if you do want to have it at a 60-70% volume, then that's going to serve you just fine going through your games.
Round one.
Now, something else that came up with was not a deal breaker because this comes up with any play device for PlayStation. That's what they do with on-screen touchpad controls. So in this case, you've got the touchpad on the far right, far left of the portal, so you can access it on either side. And just something where, for a lot of games, they usually use the touchpad for the start menu or just accessing certain menus. Sometimes there are smart gestures that you can do for selecting games, and using that on the portal is just annoying, if only because how raised up the controller is from the display, that it actually falls down quite a bit from your reach. So when you're going down to swipe or press the touchpad, not only do you have to hit it enough times for it to register, but it's kind of hard, so it's a little bit uncomfortable to reach just right. Something that if you keep doing it
Round two.
it gets old really quick.
Fight.
It's something where every time you want to hit start for certain games, you're going to get to it right. So kind of a pain, but not always worth mentioning. Now again, not really trying to make this a final review, but for now, the initial review, I guess you could say, would be that if you're on the fence, I would actually argue this probably would work well for a lot of people, even outside that very niche use case that many are proposing this thing, which is the obvious, like, oh, we got kids and they're using up the TV, you can play PS4 games that way. If you're very busy or that's a great way to get some time in, right? I mean, it's always been billed as a very niche device, and it still is, but I would really say it might stretch outside of it. It's still a great way to play games if you do have a good connection that is reliable, right? You can easily test this without making the investment. Try the remote play app on Android, iOS, something I didn't get to test, obviously, is like the third-party apps, and again, Steam Deck has an option there as well, so there's more avenues to explore, but if we're talking about remote play, by and large, this is a very nice first-class way to play games via remote play, so I think this actually would appeal to a lot more people outside of the use case, but you have to know if it's really going to work, so just do some testing beforehand to confirm your network is good, then I think you might actually be lined up quite nicely to enjoy the PlayStation product. Other than that, that's all I've got for you for now, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video.
What is this human?
Fight.
The fuck?
Final round. Fight. Get ready for the next battle.
Alright, we finally have Sony's typical Year 3 slim model PlayStation revision for PS5. We've got two consoles here, so we'll do our quick unboxing, but then also some general size comparisons. Also mess around with those two disk drives, see what's going on there, and try to answer some general questions about the hardware if you're curious about picking up this machine this holiday season. Now, right off the top, I just want to do a quick size comparison of the actual product boxes.
Round one.
Because I'm sure most of you already know, OG PS5 is ridiculous. You know, the console's huge, and that extends to the product box that it comes in. So, I mean, just off this alone, you kind of get a good idea of this is certainly a smaller model. But also looking at other product boxes, this one still pretty big. PlayStation 4 was obviously a small machine for its time. Same deal there. PS4 Pro, a little bit bigger there, right? So taller, but in terms of depth, shorter. PlayStation 3 was a very big console for its time. The original fat model and the boxes here are actually a very similar footprint. It's uncanny, actually, when you look at how big these two are compared to each other. They're about the same. Series X box is still much smaller than this thing. A little bit bigger. A lot of the Xbox boxes have always been fairly similar in size, right? You've got Xbox One right there, you've got a 360 arcade right here. But enough of that, let's get this guy open. There's your two little horizontal feet right off the top. HDMI 2.1 compliant cable, USB-C, USB-C, another white DualSense controller. Sony's had some very minimal packaging efforts for the entire PlayStation 5 cycle that still extends to this machine right here, so it's a no close experience. Of course, this is a Spider-Man 2 bundle, so you have to go for Spider-Man 2. And some more paperwork for PlayStation 5. I would like to get the retailers, so you do have to order those online. Alright, there is our new PlayStation 5 model, also known as CF2015. The guys of Sony, as I like to remind people, they don't ever really change the console name, it's always just PS3, 5, right? That's how they always do this. The slim term is always a fan moniker, which, I mean, it's not like it's wrong. Every time you get a slim console, it's usually a pretty big difference, and so that's the argument with the Sony that it's not small enough to, First impressions, I find that, yeah, I think it's small enough. Maybe it's just on the cusp of like where it's like, alright, should we really be calling this thing slim? I think it's fine. It's small enough, but otherwise, this is it. Which it is interesting because on retailer listings, even on PlayStation.com, they will use the word slim there, just to let people know, hey, this is the updated model, since most folks are probably looking at the fairly obvious given the product that is for this. Now, in terms of the physical differences, the new PS5 is a little bit shorter, lighter, and overall volume has been reduced. It's simply the smaller PlayStation 5. When we look at other parts of it, the rear I/O is still the same. The HDMI and the ports, still got two back there. Front is changing to USB-C now, so slight change there. The overall design, that's where it's a bit different. I find it's actually